Hey, welcome back everyone. So today we're going to take a little bit of different approach. We're actually going to dive into menu navigation. Specifically today we're going to talk about table view, and I know it can be a little bit confusing. I know for me it was a lot when I first started Power BI. So we're going to just dive into each and every single icon, what they mean, and how you can really utilize them. So first up we have within the table view, we're going to go to table tools. Under name, we can actually change the entire table name. So if I want to just say sales, for example, we can now see the name change for the entire table of sales. We could actually change the entire table to mark it as a data table if you want to use that feature. We can go into manage relationships and look at our relationship schema that's over here, or look at the individual breakout by relationship and cardinal rules that we have. We can create new measures, and I know in a different video we actually showcase that, and we'll talk about more of that later. We have quick measures. Now, I'm not a huge fan of quick measures, and the reason I say that is because I think it's really important to know how to write your own measures from scratch so you know exactly what you're looking for. Now, you also have Copilot as an option too, and we'll talk about that later as well. But you have so many different options when it comes to calculations and what kind of default selections you have here. So one we're going to dive into specifically is going to be average per category. And I'm going to say base value is going to be amount, for example. And then the category is going to be by sales rep ID. I'm going to click add, and then it's going to show me a DAX that I can actually use to learn about. I can use as a template for other DAX measures, or I can just adopt this one as a whole. I'll press X because we're actually not going to use it, even though it does save it automatically, but I'm going to go ahead and delete it from the model. So next up we have is new column. So you're actually going to see a little tooltip when you hover over any single icon within Power BI, but this one specifically for new column. Each new column that you add is always going to be placed at the back end of your table view. Additionally, these columns that you create are not going to be pushed into the query editor. So this is only adding a column to your table view. But let's just say we want to look at if a specific date of sales or your eval date or something related to records review was done within the last 365 days, and we want to give ourselves a binary, so a true or false indicator. So we're just going to label this within 365. We're going to say equals, so we're going to say if date diff sales order amount comma today comma day, close that, less than or equal to 365, comma, true, comma, false, close that. So this is going to show me if something is within 365 days based upon the order date. And now if I just want to change this value and make it greater than, now it's going to say false. Now it's going to tell me that, hey, none of these dates are greater than 365 days. So then I can easily identify, hey, these records reviews, these D93 SLVs, we don't really have to worry about them at this time because they're not expired as of yet. So that's just a simple DAX that you can write when it comes to date bands. And once again, new column is always going to be placed at the back end of your query. Next up, you have new table. So new table, you can actually copy and paste whatever you want into this area, or you can just say equals, and I'm going to say financials, if I can spell, and I'll press enter and it'll adopt every single thing that's within financials. So now I just have a complete replica of this table, and I can just go ahead and say replica, for example, and just change the name. And now we have replica of financials. Now going back to sales and column tools, we actually change the name of the column. So we're going to say order and date. I don't actually recommend having abbreviations, nor do I recommend having underscores or periods. Just keep it simple, keep it plain, just so your audience really understands what the column's for. You can change the type here as well to whatever it may be. It's defaulted to a date because it understands it's a date format already. And then you also have different formats for your date formats. So let's just say you want to choose a month, day, year format. You can select that. and now you have a different format as well. And this will pop up in your visualization arena as well. Let's say you have a specific format, so day dash month dash year. You can just press tab, and then now it'll change a format as well. So if you have a specific format that you like, just go ahead and type that in there and see what kind of comes out. Now keep in mind, every change that you're making over here, there's no historical record like there is within the Power Query arena where you transform your data because you have applied steps over there. Over here, you do not. So it's important that you remember exactly what you're doing or you're writing it down in case you're building a dashboard for your organization and you need to have a technical manual on the side. Summarization. So summarization is going to be important in case you have amount that you're looking at. Going over to the customers table that I have, the data category, you have all these different options that you can list when it comes to a different type of category. Now, if you're looking at geo coordinates, you have longitude, latitude, you have postal codes. It just really depends on what kind of value you're looking at, and then you can identify to Power BI, hey, this is exactly what it is. So then it gives you the opportunity to have greater utilization within different visuals. So this is like a influencer, if you will, that enables certain charts to be utilized because they're read based upon the category type. You can also sort by column if you wish. You have data groups where you can bin things together, and then you have a relationships option as well, once again, and then new column as the last option. Now keep in mind it's important because whenever you click on a table, wherever you're operating for new measure, new column, that's where it's going to pop in. So if you're operating over here in customers, but you actually want to build a column or measure in dates, make sure you're clicking on that table first before you start creating new things. You have the same similar options as a quick shortcut. If you right click on any of these tables, new measure, new column, you can refresh the data in case you have a data source that's connected to somewhere like SharePoint. You have a direct SQL database that's connected to. You can edit the query where you transform your data. You manage relationships, just like we have the option here. Incremental refresh, so you can set a certain cadence to have refreshes updated at a certain time period of your choosing, and then just a bunch of other options as well that are pretty easy to understand just by looking at them. All right, so that's all I have for today, folks. Hopefully it helped you understand the table view navigation options that you have. So next we'll actually dive into all these different menu options that you see here, and then customizing your dashboard aesthetically, how you can make it pop more, and really take your dashboard to the next level. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.